Yeah. All right. A little bit unprepared. So I just got a major homeschool haul in. And for those that are going to watch this on replay, I just, instead of trying to take the time and do a great big video and edit it, I'm going to do it live. And it should run about 15-20 minutes, if because we have things to do. All right, so we changed up our homeschool curriculum this year. I had one intentions, and then I realized it wasn't portable enough. And we decided to go back to what we've done in the past. So we have done a lot of curriculums in the past. We have done parent-led textbooks online. We have done independent-led curriculum. Actually, that's one of the reasons I found my girl Andrea, was because of investigating ACE. We are using CLE for math. Yes. There's some things I was very happy with, and there's some things that we're just running into some problems. So for those that are new, there's 6 kids. I homeschool, and we're in the process of building a house. So in the meantime, sorry, my ADHD grandfather clock is clicking in. It keeps me on task for how much time has passed. It's telling me it's 5 o'clock. So we are in a tiny house. We're in 700 square feet as we're building this house, and I'm homeschooling 6 kids. Now, one of the things that has not been a game changer is Orville and Leona. Orville is 6, so he's starting 1st grade, but he's not really. He is, but he's not. He's in 1st grade. Leona's in pre-K. Hey, Mayflower, just some happy video. I was supposed to do a Wellness Wednesday, but I'm still kind of emotionally exhausted to even begin talking about Wellness Wednesday. But Orville and Leona are doing Abeka, and they're doing the online Abeka because there's a lot of, I've realized in my 10 years, I don't know how many years of homeschooling, that those younger years need a lot of repetitive peppy. And I'm going to tell you, at 41, I'm not feeling repetitive and peppy very much anymore. I'm pretty tired. So with being tired, I've realized I want the Abeka teacher right now to be that peppy, repetitive person for me. So we're going on an extension of classical, because last year we did classical conversations, and I really wanted to move in an extension of that classical method. What I've run into is 2 things. I do not have the space physically for that right now, nor do I have the mental space for that. Number 2, it is so much easier to do that type of method if you don't have the season going on right now. But if you have the season like I'm living in right now, it'd be easier to do that in a community. So we don't have a community, so that's not that easy. So anyways, we were getting to the point, and we've been doing a lot of going about doing our homeschooling. And we started running into the problem of hauling so many things. I don't have it. I think she just packed it up. But you know, a Saxon textbook is like carrying around a phone book. So that's big. But then, you know, when you start adding up the different pieces of curriculum, you better have a wheelbarrow to get your stuff from back and forth that we were doing in the method we were doing. And the conversation came up, they wanted to go back to like a workbook, a little workbook, not a big fat workbook for the year, but just a little one. Now, we did Christian Light in the past, and Christian Light is by far my favorite one to teach reading. A phone book, we are old. Kids nowadays probably do not know what a phone book is. I know now I'm going to be like, I'm going to smack you with a Saxon math book. No, that's what my grandma used to say. I'll smack you with a phone book. This is our first year with CLE English, and we love it, right? All right, so we contemplated going between ACE and CLE, and I let my kids pick. And the picking was, they wanted CLE because of the fact that it's broken up by lesson. So ACE, you kind of self-pace through the book. Christian Light, this is a lesson, it's this many pages, and you go on. And so they really pushed for that. And I said, okay. I will tell you there's a couple of things like in the social studies. My daughter, 9th grade, she is doing so much. She's reading so many books, and we have to have evidence of work. She's like, just give me the light units, let me do the work, and let me read it and be done. And I was looking at ACE. ACE is doing world geography for 9th grade, not civics and world geography, just world geography. Love the light units and how they feel a sense of accomplishment when they've completed one and really feel like they are moving forward. Right. And so it's very black and white. I'll show you a little bit more. Very black and white. My daughter, this is not a problem. My son will not get this done. So when he hits 9th grade, we'll probably hop over to an ACE style if we still need to do this style of curriculum. All right, so one of the things I run into is my kids are all over the board when it comes to figuring out where to place them. And that's what I'm really going to talk about 6 minutes in. That's what I'm going to really talk about, hopefully quickly and not your whole day, of when they're all over the board, how I chose to place them and how I plan to move them forward. If you chose to do ACE, there's a diagnostic test that tells you what booklets they need before they just need to go one after another to fill in the voids, to fill in the holes. So Christian Light doesn't give you that, but I'll tell you how we're going. So very first off, I'm going to tell you these are the best. Now you can get a Dollar Tree one, no doubt, but these last forever. And I actually seen one that they painted. I mean, and they go together pretty easily. I gotta remember, Katie is doing, I think the window is messing with my light. I'm gonna try and move over. Katie's doing golf this year, so I do have to go pick her up after a little bit. I've seen somebody who painted these, and it turned out really, really nice. Okay, so for Katie, what we did was we picked up the social studies, just 9th grade social studies. I didn't pick up all the books. I picked up about half a year. So let's see if I can make it through half a year without trying to switch out or wanting a different season. I just tried to buy just half a year. And it's very plain, and I can go into a much more, but I mean, it's really kind of an older style text, which she has no problem dealing with. And like I said, my son would not. So we did social studies for 9th. We picked up the English 1 for high school. And we were actually attempting to do The Good and the Beautiful level 7. She's worked through most of it, but when she went through and re-reviewed English 1, it also gets into research, persuasive writing, it gets into grammar, it gets into speech, and she felt like this would be more rigorous, and so she chose to switch over. So I have that. Am I missing? Oh, I'm missing something. I just put the video out about using Saxon. Okay, so using the Saxon Algebra 1, go and catch that video. I'll put it up later on tonight or tomorrow or next week or something. I'll put the link below, or I'll bubble it up. I had to get my 7th grader grade 6 language arts. My question is, has anyone ever used, I haven't used the Plus program. All right, so they have a new Algebra 1 textbook, and then they have these like little light units. So I picked up 2 of them to see if she's only about 4 or 5 lessons into the Algebra 1. So to see if she prefers being able to write in here. I believe you can write in here. I think you can write in here. Yeah, to be able to write in the text and only need to keep this little piece with her versus doing the textbook. If she prefers Saxon, we'll stick with Saxon. I just bought 2 to see if that would work. All right, then the last thing I picked up for her was Bible. Now, Bible's not this big. So I picked up Bible, and I actually bought 2 sets. I've heard a lot of conversations about Bible 9 being phenomenal, and actually moms doing it. And so I picked up a set for me and a set for her to work on. And of course, I got the answer keys. So I thought that'd be kind of fun for the two of us to kind of do a Bible study together. And then that one had two. So it had a Bible atlas and it had Strong's Bible accordance. So I went and I bought this one, and I'm waiting on the Bible atlas. All right, so that was my 9th grade. So here's where it gets kind of sticky. I'm going to be not the most flattering view. Sorry. Still just trying to get it right. All right, so I'm going to go to my 4th grader. Maybe. Oh. My plan just joined. This is Christian Light. This is my little Christian Light haul. So my 4th grader, we just kind of need more independent work, and we need to be able, and it's not that I'm asking them to do this by themselves. I'm just asking them to move on, to be able to be more self-propelling, but also mobile. And I kept reminding myself, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Don't fix what's not broke. I haven't used ACE in over a year. My kids have requested not to use AC because they want to see where the lesson should end. And I know, hey Compass. CLE has been around, since the 70s. They actually took Life Pack in the 70s, and at that point they separated ways, and they've just updated. So you'll see Sunrise Edition. So I'm leaving her in the Rod and Staff math that she's been working on. That's a textbook base, even though she tried talking me into doing a workbook base for her math, but I'm leaving her there. I went through and I reviewed the language arts for her, and I placed her at 2. When I looked and I reviewed, and because you can actually go and look at like a sample out of each one of the little workbooks and get an idea. I put her at level 2. It seemed to be really the right fit for her. So I bought her level 2 language arts, and don't laugh, I literally repurchased things I've already owned. It's fine. It doesn't even bother me. It's maybe $13, which makes it a pretty penny when you buy a bunch of stuff at one time, but it's still an amazing deal. And if you go like on my Instagram, I've done a lot of videos with the amazing ladies from Christian Light. I love them to pieces. I gave her section 2. I actually had her read the snippets from the book, and so I went ahead and placed her right at the first half of reading 2. And there's 2 textbooks for that one, so I only got the 1 textbook. I got the light units, and I picked up the teacher's guide. All right. Bible 2. I also got her the Bible. I picked her up the science. And again, only the science. I just picked up a few of the sciences. And I also picked her up social studies. All right, so I will tell you, I have tried. I don't like the ACE writing and literature. We found it very dry. They liked Christian Light, and so that's what I gave them. I will do some more close-ups, but you can see better samples on the website. I put the website down below. It's just like ACE. There's a quiz, 2 quizzes in the back, and there's a test in the middle that you would do. Why did I get her science and social studies? I think just because I liked what's in it, and I needed her to be a little more busy. So I'm still reading Story of the World. We're still doing Claritas memory work. We're still using the fundamental guide. This is just our day-to-day stuff that doesn't require me. All right, so that was her. Okay, so the hard part came with my 6th and 8th grader. My 6th and 8th grader did not place very high. Actually, they both kind of placed mixed 4th grade language arts. And I'm okay with that. So what my plan is, for each, I feel like a hot mess. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a literal hot mess. No, it's in the back. It's in the back. So in the back here is an alternative test. Are they able to do CLE math independently and upper grades? Yes. I mean, hopefully, yes, if they're used to that. But it's set up to do. CLE is way more advanced. That's why I don't care. I'm like, I don't even call this grade 2. I call it level 4. I'm going to have them. I'm essentially going to have them take an alternative test. I'm going to have them take an alternative test for this. If they pass out, I'm skipping the book. I'm going to go throw the book in a filing cabinet and not worry about it. If they are close, but they don't make the mark for this test, then I'm going to give them the first quiz. If they pass the first quiz flying colors, then I realize they need to work on the second quiz. Or if they don't pass the first quiz, then I have them, I'll just pre-quiz them out, and we'll move quickly through books to find out where we need to fill in the holes. So I went ahead, I bought them both Language Arts 4. Lottie felt immediately like, and it's over here, Lottie felt immediately like she needed just Math 4. Bubba felt placed in the 5 in Math 5. So I grabbed those up. And I just picked up the first 5. And then I'll order what we need next. Alright. And then I went ahead and placed Lottie. It's advanced. It is advanced. I have no problems. In fact, I'm doing the California Achievement Test, so I'll put a link down for where I do that right now. And he's coming out really on like level 7, grade 7 of the 1970s Achievement Test, but in CLE he kind of cleans in at 4. They cover things I wouldn't think they cover, you know, that early on. It's just how they're set up. I'm not going to give it a second thought. I don't worry about it. We're just making progress. I placed Lottie in 5, and I believe reading 5 and 6 are just 5 books, because it's like every other day, except I'm going to give it to them every day to do. So they'll probably cover 2 years worth. And I picked him up reading 6. All right, so with that, I did add, that's the call to courage. I'm being really quick because I have to go pick up the kids soon. I went and looked, and I thought about me and my daughter. My daughter is in the 3rd grade, but I am doing grade 2 with her. Yeah, I mean, that's normal stuff. Absolutely normal. I'm doing the Bible with my daughter, and I was thinking, like, how much fun her and I are going to have. So I decided to actually place Bubba and Lottie into Bible together. Now, here's the thing. I placed them both into the 6th grade Bible. And the reason I did that is I know that they can read at that level. You know, the reading is in a lower level, but I put their Bible at level 6 because it should challenge them, but it's not in every subject. So it should give that time to challenge without it being overwhelming. It's not every single thing they have is challenging them to the end. So I gave them Bible 6. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I picked up also Science 6 for the both of them, because when I went looking through it, I liked it. I have an Earthen Science textbook. It's big, it's heavy. I enjoy the fact that there's activities in here. There's one like making peanut butter taffy is in this book. How to reduce friction. There's a scientific method. There's also in one of the books a request for a research paper. I won't lie, that's the number one that got me like, ooh, this will be good. So I picked up their books. I picked up an answer key so they can check their own stuff. CLE is not big on checking their own stuff, but I'll let them check their own stuff. And then this gives me some kind of little inspiration intos. So that's what I picked up for them. What do I have left? A couple things left. I have, I went ahead, I told you we're doing Becca, right? So we have been using this is not the right book. This one is, I think, yeah. We're still working from last year on not last year, over the summer, our K2 workbooks, our workbooks that I do with Orville, because even though Becca's really great, and he knows I says it as an inchworm, I says it. That's one of the things they say. But when it comes to hearing those sounds, he can't hear them. And one of the things that I feel like Christian Light does amazing is learning to read and being really phonemic aware. So we've been continuing with these books to be phonemic aware, and remembering how much phonemic awareness is, I went ahead and I picked up just the first two. This is not moving fast. I have no intentions of moving fast. In fact, I plan to use after a Becca in order to fill everything in. My little is doing Becca K2 and was curious about K2 and learning to read from CLE. I'm probably am going to slowly do this with a Becca. To me, the way a Becca teaches doesn't make sense to me, but I appreciate the fact that they have a teacher for me. I asked Regina, remember there's a video, I'll put it at the end or I'll put it down below, the video I did with Regina. She has taught this for 18 years. No, probably not 18 years, longer than that. She's taught learning to read for over 18 years. And we just film Regina teaching, and I can pay a subscription for my children to learn from Regina. They laughed at me. They're like, that's so cute. I'm like, no, I'm serious. Can we pay Regina to just teach my kids learning to read so I don't have to be the excited energy person that I'm not? I assume he's getting better, and I'm going to say Becca has been a huge benefit for that consistency. But I already can tell that he's going to be a slow to read child, just like my other son was. Both my boys are the same way. And I went ahead and picked up the extra practice sheets. I have my entire setup on loan, and my girlfriend just found out I bought another teacher's manual. And I'm like, it's $9 or $13. It's really, for the amount of stuff you get in here, it's not that expensive. And let me tell you, if you're in a situation that you cannot afford these, and you can only afford this is gold. This is gold. You could make do with a chalkboard in this book. I mean, if you had to. I wouldn't say that that's a great way to do it. I wouldn't do it. I mean, you can go back and watch old videos how I feel about these. I just follow along here. I don't even follow along in here. I follow along in the workbook and do it. So I picked him up this, the Learning to Read book. Okay, I picked up also, did I tell you it was like a big haul? Flashcards. This is what flashcards look like. This is a set I've already had before, and we wore them out. I know, I'm hurrying. I got like 5 more minutes. But these are the little cards that go with the story that help you, and they have their own poem. That would be awesome. I would get that subscription for my special needs son who is going to 4th grade, but basically literate. Go watch my other video. My son went into 3rd grade with not even a graduate kindergarten level of reading. He finished 3rd grade doing the Learning to Read program. 1st grade program, it's set for 1st grade. I don't care what they say. He finished 3rd grade at a 4.8, almost a 5th grade reading level. This book. Keep reading books. They have comprehension that they're building. They just have to learn to phonetically sound them out. And it's just learning to read. My guy that's 1st grade writes the most craziest stories. He cannot read, but he writes amazing stories. He is constantly drawing us stories. That's composition. Composition doesn't have to do with writing a word. A composition has to do with telling a story, and we use it in word form. So be aware of that. Read good books to him, and this works. This works absolutely. Just pick up the whole Learning to Read program. It's phenomenal. All right. I picked up 2, and I picked up at the convention the sight words. Sorry, I had a phone call coming in. I picked up the sight words. So I'm not doing like everything I've ever bought with CLE. I'm just showing you what I got on this haul. I went ahead this round and I picked up the sight words. It's in these like manila old school style ones, but I thought it would be easier. I just realized we're gonna have to do a lot of flashcards with him. I have the sight word one that's put to imaging that works with kind of the right brain, left brain. My daughter had a hard time reading too, but we did learn to read. She's doing so much better. Did you do, Renee, did you do Christian Light? Okay. I love that they do indexes. And I have the phonemic awareness ones. So this is spelling. I haven't looked at this, but I felt like it's again the right brain. So logically we categorize it all in the left brain, but sometimes we have a hard time. We have right brain stronger and it doesn't cross over very easily. And by adding images, lets it enter in our right side and go to our left side. That's according to what I've learned at the homeschool convention. So they're a lot like this, the my sight word ones. All right, I picked up one last thing. I did pick up the last thing in my haul. And what is it? It is, actually these are really nice. These are amazing texture. It's a really nice texture. They're folded. They kind of have some bubbles. But I haven't figured out. I'm probably going to put it, I might cut them a little bit, but I'm probably going to put them on their binder. So later on, I will show like in full context what it's going to look like, what we're actually doing, because we're using a lot of the Claritas as rocket fuel for learning. I call it fertilizer to everybody. I'm like, my fertilizer. And I will do a more in-depth. I just want to get this in use right away. And so I wanted to go ahead and do this live video and let you know what's going on. Last year for my 8 and 7-year-old daughters, it was great, right? And I mean, it's amazing because what they start off reading in these books to where they finish is phenomenal. And I have the readers for them, and I don't always use the readers. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little lazy. I say lazy, I get in trouble for saying lazy. I'm a little overwhelmed and I'm a little stretched thin, so I skip the readers and I'll just use the reading that's in the book. Let's see, does it come up to one? Yeah, I really have found the phonemic, I mean, just like even right away. And this is what's really cool. The first sound you're going to learn, this is not a learning to read book, but the first sound you're going to work on is D. And you'll have handwriting. But what you're going to do here is you're actually going to listen for that sound and only mark the ones that begin with D, like dish or deer, with a D, not cup. So you're only isolating that one sound. So you're not trying to go and figure out which sound's which. You really master one sound at a time to listen to it, which makes this phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. All right, I have to jump off. I have to go get my kids. I'm so glad that you all sat in and visited with me. Leave me any comments down below if you got any questions or if you've used this. And if you've used Christian Light Education, tell me about your experience. Because let me tell you, when I started doing Christian Light Education, nobody used it on YouTube. And then it's been amazing watching how many families now include Christian Light Education in their curriculum. So it's been good. So excited to see you, Trish. We start tomorrow with ACE and a little bit of the good and the beautiful, science and American story. That is awesome. That's going to be great. All right, y'all have a great first days. If it's already done, if you already gotten going, I hope it's going well. And we just kind of trucking on. Nothing, I hate to say it, we don't always do something so special. I should be more about that. I need to bring my inner Andrea out to make it just amazing. I've been watching a lot of her videos as I've been dealing with her gone, and and I will not lie, I've come up with like at least 10 or 15 questions like, I should have asked this. I should have asked for more information here. I should have. But we just kind of keep trucking on. I'm sure some of you are like that too. There's really no beginning, no end. It's just finding what works and keep going. So I'm going to talk to y'all later. Expect a Wellness Wednesday by Friday. All right, I'll see you then. I love you, my dear. Bye.